Good evening, everyone. Welcome to regular council meeting of Tuesday, March the 17th. Happy St. Paddy's Day. We'll start off with the Lord's Prayer. Anybody wishes to join us may do so. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you. Laurie, call to order, please.
Mover and seconder.
Alan and Betty.
Moved by Councillor Wren, seconded by Betty King, that the regular council meeting of March 17th, 2026 be called to order at 5:30 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. Roll call, please. Just tell me if I'm going too fast or too slow.
Yep, okay. Mayor Bennett,
Present.
Reeve Watt,
Present.
Councillor Gauthier-Keel,
Present.
Councillor Hewitt,
Present.
Councillor Hoogley,
Present.
Councillor King,
Present.
Councillor Wren.
Present.
All members present.
Thank you. Confirmation of the agenda. Keith and Wendy.
Moved by Reeve Watt, seconded by Councillor Hewitt, that the agenda for the regular council meeting of March 17, 2026 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Declaration of pecuniary interest. Seeing none. Minutes and notes. Approval of February 17th meeting minutes. Jennifer and Brian.
Moved by Councillor Gauthier, seconded by Councillor Hoogley, that the minutes of the regular council meeting held March 17, 2026 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Approval of the March 3rd meeting minutes. Alan and Betty.
Moved by Councillor Wren, seconded by Councillor King, that the minutes of the council and committee meeting held March 3rd, 2026 be accepted by council, and that the resolutions from that committee become resolutions of council.
All in favor? Carried. Delegations, we have the President and Chair of Renfrew County Crime Stoppers, Mr. Bennett Blackwell. Please come forward, please. Welcome to Laurentian Valley.
Thank you, Mayor Bennett. Thank you, members of council, for allowing me to be here and speak with you all tonight. Again, my name is Bennett Blackwell. I'm the president and chair of Renfrew County Crime Stoppers. And my reason for asking to be here this evening was really to reintroduce the Crime Stoppers program to you as councillors and to the Laurentian Valley community as we're working to try and introduce the program across Renfrew County. One of the most common things that we hear is, I didn't even know Crime Stoppers was still around. So we're working hard to try and get the message out there that the program does still exist, and we are still out there trying to improve community safety across the county. So a little history, or a little bit about Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers is a volunteer-run organization, especially in Renfrew County. There are Crime Stoppers programs that have employees, but we are not one of them. So we're completely volunteer-run. We are a not-for-profit charity. We do have not-for-profit charity status. And the Crime Stoppers program is essentially the go-between between the community and the police. So we enable the community to provide anonymous tips about crimes that they may be aware of. We make sure that the crime information gets forwarded to the police so they can investigate the crime, but we protect the anonymity of the tipster. So the identity of the tipster is never known. We offer cash rewards for tips that are successful that lead to arrests or charges, property recovered, and so on. And we are working to improve the community safety and well-being across the Laurentian Valley, but also across Renfrew County. In Pembroke and Renfrew County, the Crime Stoppers program has been around since 1989. More broadly, the Crime Stoppers program started in 1976 by Detective Greg McAleese, who was a Canadian-born detective working in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he was working to try and solve a robbery homicide. After several weeks, he didn't have any leads, he had nowhere to go with his investigation, and so he put cash out of his own pocket, opened an anonymous tip line, and offered that cash from his own pocket for anybody that would come forward to provide information that would help solve that robbery homicide. And within just a few hours of the tip line being opened, 6 other robberies and homicides were solved in addition to the one that he was working to try to solve. So it really goes to show that the public wants to do the right thing, and often there are barriers like fear, apathy, that prevent people from wanting to come forward. So it went to show that the Crime Stoppers program was just waiting to be born. And Detective McAleese, who sadly passed away last year, has left quite a legacy of 37 Crime Stoppers programs across Ontario, I believe 87 Crime Stoppers programs across Canada, and over 1,800 Crime Stoppers programs worldwide. So Crime Stoppers works because it essentially enables the public to do the right thing. We know that there are many barriers why individuals don't want to talk to the police, whether they're afraid of revenge if they say something, or they don't want to become involved. They don't want to be part of the criminal justice process or have to testify in court or any of that. We always say that no tip is too small. So every tip is like a piece of a puzzle, and everybody in this room might have a piece and not know the whole story, but every piece helps the investigators to put the picture together. Somebody always knows something, especially in the day of social media and how interconnected our society is. It's really hard to keep things secret nowadays, and for every crime that happens, there's somebody out there that knows something, and Crime Stoppers wants to encourage those individuals to come forward. And the goal, obviously, community safety, but we can help the police to solve crimes so that the police resources can be better used. If we can help police to get the information to help them solve their crimes faster and close cases faster, then police resources can be better allocated across the county. So anonymity is not a choice with Crime Stoppers. It is the cornerstone of the program. Anonymity is protected by the Supreme Court of Canada. It's known as informer privilege. And so what that says is the highest court in our land has decided that Crime Stoppers matters and Crime Stoppers is important. And defense counsel and lawyers have tried to undermine the Crime Stoppers program in the past, and it's been upheld as high as the Supreme Court of Canada. Tips are sanitized very thoroughly to ensure that there is absolutely no chance that a tipster can be identified. Whether you call the 1-800-222-TIPS, which goes to our national anonymous call center. It's the call center that's used right across Canada and even across North America. That call center doesn't use caller ID. They have no way to know who's calling. If you tell them their name, they're simply not going to write it down. If you use the online form and you accidentally disclose anything that could identify you, that information is removed from the equation before the tip is actually provided to police. So Crime Stoppers ensures that only the tip information is actually getting to the police. So there's absolutely no way that a tipster's identity can be revealed. In order to protect anonymity, we ask that victims of crimes do not use the Crime Stoppers program, and that's simply because the Canadian criminal justice process requires a victim to be part of the process. So if you are a victim of a crime, unfortunately, Crime Stoppers is not the right avenue for you to report. So Crime Stoppers really is a partnership between the public, the media, and the police. And I say police, but it's really more broad than that. So investigators could be the OPP, it could be Deep River Police, it could be the Ministry of Natural Resources, the Ministry of the Environment, the Ministry of Finance, who handles like contraband tobacco and illegal tobacco sales. So when an investigator determines that there's information they need, they'll reach out to Crime Stoppers, they'll reach out to media sources, and you'll see these press releases that come out every week that say, contact police or Crime Stoppers. And so that puts the community in the driver's seat. And at that point, if you have information that could help, you can call the police directly, but you can also call Crime Stoppers and know that you'll be protected and your anonymity will be guaranteed. Submitting a tip is super easy regardless of whether you use the phone number or the website. Like I said, if you call the 1-800 number, the call takers are trained call center operators. They'll ask you as many questions as they need to get the information relevant to your crime, but they're not going to ask you for your name, so don't volunteer it. Same as if you use the online platform, it's a series of drop-down boxes and fill in the blanks that'll allow you to provide as much information as you know. fill out as many questions as you can, but if you can't fill them all out, that's fine, because like I said, every piece of the puzzle helps to solve the crime. So you might know the vehicle and your neighbor might know the license plate number, and altogether that information can come together with investigators. When you provide a tip, you will be provided with a code, a secret code at the end, if you will, a code number, and that code number is how we guarantee your anonymity. So if you are eligible for a cash reward at the end of the process, it's up to the tipster to remember that code to be able to log back into the Crime Stopper system or to call back, because we have no way to contact you to say, hey, your information was helpful and you're now eligible for a reward. So it's really important that if you are going to use the Crime Stoppers program, that you remember that code. We also encourage you to not tell people that you've used the Crime Stoppers program, because we're going to do our part to guarantee your anonymity, but you need to help yourself as well. And if you're going around telling people that you use Crime Stoppers, you might be outing yourself as the person that helped to solve that crime. We do offer cash rewards of up to $2,000, and rewards are paid through all the funds that we raise. So like I mentioned, we are a not-for-profit. We don't receive government funding. We don't have any ties to the police that way. We are an independent not-for-profit organization. So all the rewards are paid through funds that we raise. There's a standardized template that takes into account, the number of drugs that were seized, number of arrests that were made, the number of charges that were laid, all that kind of thing. And that spits out a reward value. And then our volunteer civilian board of directors actually can discuss that reward value and determine if we're comfortable with that reward value, if we think it deserves a higher reward value or a lower reward value. And the civilian board of directors has the final say to approve the reward. Across Renfrew County, since 1989, the Crime Stoppers program has helped to lay 1,300 charges, 369 cases have been solved. We've paid out over $36,000 in rewards and recovered over $4 million of drugs from the streets. So this is just a snapshot of our area and what our program has accomplished. I can tell you that provincially, the number of drugs seized is almost $2 billion worth of drugs through Crime Stoppers programs across the province. And over $8 million of rewards have been paid back to community members. I should note that our tips for the last year are up 25% over the year previous, and actually up 68% over 2 years ago. So the Crime Stoppers program is growing. We're working to get more out there in the community, doing more presentations like this, speaking to more people, because if people don't know about us, then they can't use the program. As mentioned, we are a not-for-profit charity, so all of our funds are fundraised. This could include donations, corporate sponsorships, but we have to fundraise for everything that we use, whether it's paying for the call center or obviously insurance, the tip software itself, advertising and promotion, participating in community events, and of course paying the rewards. So my goal of being here today was actually not to make a specific ask, and it was more just to have a conversation. I want council to have the information that they need to choose whether supporting the Crime Stoppers program is something that you would be interested in. But more importantly is having an audience with all of you, having an audience with your viewers at home, and spreading awareness about the program. Cash donations are always accepted and can be tax receipts can be given, but also in-kind donations such as facility rentals, advertising, use of digital message boards, maybe municipal services like putting up signs, that sort of thing, collaborating whether on social media or in person at events and that sort of thing to spread the message about the program, and forming partnerships for community safety and well-being. So we are working to try and collaborate with all municipalities. We are very spread out in Renfrew County. We don't have the luxury of having, one municipality and one police services board to go to ask for support. So we're really trying to spread the message, connect with as many municipalities as we can and as many people as we can across the county. So this is a very condensed presentation. I tried to get as much through as I could in a short amount of time, but I thank you again for allowing me to be here today and speak with you. And my contact information is available should you have additional questions or want to reach out.
Okay, Ben, that's great. Great presentation. All comments, questions from council? Alan?
Just maybe a comment. Should we as a municipality have Crime Stoppers on our website linked to yours so that the two websites, so if somebody's wondering how do I get a hold of Crime Stoppers, they can just go to the municipality, the link is there, boom, they're right into Crime Stoppers.
Absolutely. Yeah, if that's something that the township is interested in pursuing, I'd be happy to provide you with whatever information you need to make that happen.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
Talk to Chris about setting something like that up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are there other municipalities that have done this already, or are you aware?
To my knowledge, no. That would be you'd be pioneers in that sense. It's a great idea. I personally have not even thought of that before. So we're really trying to grow our social media and grow participation on our website. So that could be very helpful.
We do have a lot of people that, new to the area or been in the area for a while, go to our website looking for information, and if it's there, I think it'd be a good idea.
I appreciate that. That'd be great.
Okay, Brian?
So when you talked about the drop-down version of reporting, there's no means or opportunity for asking questions later on, is there? So it's pretty important that it's as detailed and as much information as they possibly know gets in there, because you can't ask questions later on. And
So thank you for the question. So the Crime Stoppers the program is called P3. It's P3 Tips, I believe it's called, and it's used right across North America, possibly even worldwide. It actually does have a two-way conversation feature where our police coordinator that oversees all the tips that are received can send a message to that tip number and ask questions. Now, the Crime Stoppers program is never going to encourage people to be vigilantes or become private investigators and go out and seek information, but there is a feature that would allow our coordinator to send a message and ask clarifying questions and things like that. The issue with that is the onus is on the tipster to log back in to see that information or to see that question and provide that information.
So that's why it's important to keep that security number that you get when you finish your tip.
That's right. Yeah, we have absolutely no way to know who you are or to reach back out to you. The onus is on the tipster to be able to reach back out to us.
Absolutely. Okay. The request for money, and certainly I totally understand, we do give grants out every year, so at some point towards the end of the year, if you could send a letter to the township through Chris Neff, our PR guy here, because we act on the letters that have been sent in prior to budget. So I would say by the fall, you should have a letter of request in and see what happens.
Thank you. No, I really appreciate that. I know how hard it is for municipalities to give out funds, but we certainly appreciate any support in any form. And as I mentioned, I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight, speak with your viewers and speak with yourselves, and spreading the message is half the battle. So I appreciate it.
One further, or last question. So your committee is countywide that you chair? So is it from all municipalities? Or?
Yes, so our board of directors, so the Crime Stoppers program, Renfrew County Crime Stoppers, looks over the entire county and the city of Pembroke. So we receive tips right across the board. And our board of directors is comprised of civilian board members from across the county. Most of them are local to Renfrew, Pembroke, and Laurentian Valley. Our meetings are usually in person in Pembroke or Laurentian Valley, so but we have people from right across the county for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Anything further from council? Wendy?
Not really a question, just a comment. I appreciated all this information because I honestly didn't know half of the stuff, I'll be honest. I knew it was a tip line that you could call in for tips, but I didn't know all that information. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. And that's one of the things that I find the more I do these presentations, the more, like I said, people aren't even aware that Crime Stoppers still exists, let alone the nuances of how the program works. So I'm happy to answer any questions and provide that clarity as much as I can, because it helps the program to grow and thrive. So
Absolutely, and I think we were all in the dark, kind of where Crime Stoppers was these days, so you certainly lighten us with all the information, and we'll certainly try and get on the website and certainly try and get that letter into us in the fall.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
Thank you
your
for your
time
time.
today.
Okay, our next delegation is Chris Mantha, President of the Renfrew County Supervisors Association, and Brad Fott, AOR's Trade Show Chairperson. Welcome, Chris.
Well,
Brad,
thank you,
of course.
Mayor Bennett. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Now, thank you, members of council, for allowing me to be here. In case you don't know me, my name is Chris Mantha. I'm the Director of Public Works for the town of Petawawa. I also serve as President for the Renfrew County Road Supers Association, and as well, I'm a board member for the Association of Ontario Road Supervisors. So I brought Brad along with me to he's going to hit me if I take too long, so I'll do my best to stay within the time frame. Our usual trade show ambassador, Steve Boland, is out of the country, so I'm subbing in, so I'll do the best I can. But I've got some great news, so if we can have the first slide, Lori, thank you. Okay, so the Renfrew County Road Supervisors Association is pleased to announce that we have been selected to host the 2026 Annual Association of Ontario Road Supervisors Municipal Trade Show. So the Renfrew County Road Supervisors Association is hosting this prestigious event along with the County of Renfrew and the town of Petawawa. So the Renfrew County Road Supervisors Association was formed in 1980, so it has a long history within the county of public works professionals, and you see the members there. And we've added new members, so it's all the communities within the county, as well as the city of Pembroke, Algonquins of Pikwakanagan, and we've also added memberships from the city of Ottawa, Canadian Nuclear Laboratories, and Garrison Petawawa. Okay, so about the trade show. So the AOR's Municipal Trade Show showcases the products, services, materials, and technologies available to the public works industry, and it is one of the largest of its kind in Canada, with typically more than 2,000 participants and 200 exhibitors. So we're really proud to be bringing it to Renfrew County. It's a 2-day show. It's going to be on June 3rd and 4th, and I believe I gave all the members of council the trade show brochure, so you can feel free to look through that. Yeah, so the show provides an opportunity for public and private sector public works employees to share information and technical developments in materials, services, and equipment required to build and maintain municipal roads and core infrastructure projects. I'm sure everybody here in council is aware that the public works profession is changing rapidly. Technologies are changing all the time. And this show is really a great opportunity for professionals like myself and Brad and Mark to come together with our peers and also our suppliers that bring us all the technologies that we use each and every day in our roles. And that's really the great part about the trade show. And it's open to the public. It's free for the public to attend, which is another bonus. Oh, I should mention, sorry, Laurie, it was previously held in Renfrew County in 1992 at the Petawawa Civic Center, and in 2014 in Arnprior at the Nick Smith Center. So this is the third time that the County of Renfrew is getting the privilege of hosting this trade show. So how did we get to where we are today? So in December of 2023, one of my employees, Trevor Woodkey, decided he was going to put in an expression of interest. I didn't think we would land the show, so I thought, okay, go ahead and give it a shot. And ironically, we did land the show. So it's been a real whirlwind of of getting this ready, but it started in 2023. And then in August of 2024, we received notice that we were approved for the show. And then in January of 2025, our executive committee was established. So in February 2025, we held our initial executive committee meeting, and we established our organizational structure for our trade show group. In February 2025, we started our advertising and promotion program. And then in February 2025, Steve Boland, who you may know, who was County of Renfrew, longtime fantastic resource and spokesperson for our association, he's accepted our trade show ambassador position. Also in February 2025, we made arrangements with the Pembroke Shores Golf Course to host the annual Ross Mackenzie Golf Tournament, and that's held on June 2nd, the day before the show kicks off. The show is on June 3rd and 4th. So in May of 2025, the final version of the trade show brochure was sent for printing, which you have in front of you, and there were 1,200 copies printed for distribution. In June of 2025, attendance by planning committee delegates at the Woodstock trade show, so that actually Brad Fott attended that. So our committee went to the 2025 trade show, which was held in Woodstock, where we met with the organizers of that show, looked at how they were conducting the show, learned from their organization, and also promoted and sold booths for our upcoming trade show. And by all accounts, it was very successful. So there you see some of the key personnel, as I mentioned, that are helping with this. And we've also added other members along the way. We have representatives now from the County of Renfrew, Laurentian Valley, the City of Pembroke, Deep River. So we're well represented across the county, and we have a really great team. So how was the site picked? So when the AWARS Association looks at different places to host a trade show, they look for certain key aspects to say that your site will be successful. And the Petawawa Civic Center is a great site. So we have good access to and from Provincial Highway 17. We also have good access to quite a few hotel rooms in the area. So not just Petawawa, but Pembroke. I believe even Laurentian Valley has some hotel accommodation. So, and I think they will be all sold out if they're not already. As well, restaurants and a quality 18-hole golf course is very important as well. So we needed that. And then of course we needed a facility that had Wi-Fi, good hydro access, a minimum 1 ice pad for indoor booths, sufficient outdoor space for 125 to 150 booths, and of course sufficient parking. And as of right now, just to let the members know, all of our indoor booths are sold. There's a waiting list for indoor booths, and there's only 3 outdoor booths left. So we're less than 90 days from the show, and essentially it's sold out. So it's going to be a fantastic event. And there's our booth layout. JP2G Consulting were fantastic to help us with the booth layout and set that up for us. And there's the outdoor booth layout. So yeah, there's only 3 booths left as of right now. So the exhibitor profile. So who's coming? So essentially, it's going to be suppliers that provide products ranging from roads and bridge maintenance, construction and rehabilitation, communication equipment, engineering, surveying, design, contract admin, emergency disaster management, equipment, fleets, GIS and GPS systems, parks and grounds. It's becoming more and more. We're starting to see robotic lawnmowers now, a lot of electrical equipment, electric battery equipment. So technologies are moving very quick. We'll have stormwater, flood control, wastewater collection and treatment, water treatment, traffic and pedestrian control, transit, underground utilities, and of course staff training and education. and then our visitor profile. So we're hoping for more than 2,000 people visiting the show, which would be fantastic. But who's coming? It's going to be public works directors like myself and Brad and Mark, engineers, superintendents, frontline operators, truck drivers, plow operators, Parks and Rec employees, fleet safety managers, consulting engineers, and all the different managers and directors that you see from those various fields. So opportunities. What we're hoping for is we really want people to come to the show and enjoy what the County of Renfrew has to offer. We're really hoping that people are going to come early and stay late for our show. Hopefully enjoy the Algonquin Trail, maybe bring their four-wheeler along with them. Because the County of Renfrew does have a lot to offer. We're very fortunate and blessed to live where we do. I know, speaking for myself and my family, it's been a fantastic place to raise a family. So hoping the people that come to visit will see just how much the County of Renfrew has to offer. And of course, we want to see staff involvement at the show. There's educational opportunities for staff, networking, basically just immerse themselves for 2 days into all the great technologies that come in our public works profession. So next steps, we want to continue to promote the 2026 AOR's Municipal Trade Show as much as we can. We're on a tour of meeting with local municipal councils. We've been to the City of Pembroke, the County of Renfrew, tonight here at the Township of Laurentian Valley. We've been to Adamston, Bromley, and we have about 3 or 4 more booked. So we're making the tour to make sure we get the news out about the show. And basically, we're not looking for money, which I'm sure is
What a relief.
yeah, what a relief.
Well, hold on there, hold on.
It's always a highlight of the show. Really, all we're asking for as an association is that you encourage your staff to attend. I certainly want to see all the municipal officials attend as well. As I hope to see you, Mayor Bennett, out at the show. And really, just if we can garner some volunteer support, that's really all we're looking for now. Most of the key pieces have been put in place for the show, so it's just the fine details at the end to pull off what we think is going to be a fantastic event. I think I covered that. Yeah, perfect. Oh, okay. So this is a great slide too. So in 2014, when we last held our show, we raised $55,833, and the money that was raised from the show was essentially all put back into the community, which is one of the big benefits of hosting this event. So we were able to donate money for bursaries that we are still to this day giving out to all the high schools. There was $30,000 for bursaries. There was $2,000 for each hospital. There was money given to county long-term care homes, which are Bonachère Manor and Miramichi Lodge. There was the school food for learning program. I believe it might be called the Breakfast Club now, but there was a donation to that program. And then the Renfrew County Road Supers Association set aside some money for training, which is always key in our field. Staff training is so important. Keeping our operators up to date and well trained ensures safety. And then there was $333 that was left in the association general fund. So most of the money from the event goes right back to the community. And I think, looking at how successful we were in 2014, I think we'll use the same template for this trade show and probably give the money to the same groups as we did before. And that's it. For further information, you have the addresses there. If you want any other information, you can reach out to myself or Trevor Woodkey at the town of Petawawa. Before I conclude, I wanted to thank Brad Fott. He's been chairing all of our bi-weekly meetings and really has done a fantastic job. I'm sure you all know Brad. He's very good at keeping things rolling and very on pace, and yeah, he's been fantastic. And I can't say nothing also for Mark. Mark's been through one of these before. He was on the committee in 2014, so he's been a fantastic resource. And again, I wanted to say thanks to Laurentian Valley for their ongoing support for the Association of Ontario Road Supervisors. I know Laurentian Valley has hosted, I believe, three local association truck safety rodeos, as well as one provincial truck safety rodeo. So whenever I've needed help, I always reached out to the Township of Laurentian Valley. You guys have been great, so thank you very much. I appreciate your time this evening.
That's great, Chris and Brad. Congratulations, first of all, to Town Petawawa to secure this event. I think it's wonderful for the area, for the economy. As you said, all the hotels will be sold out, restaurants will be very busy. First of all, I think maybe you could talk to Chris Neff again through our website to get on to get a link on there as well, and maybe even as volunteers. You might be able to get some volunteers out of it as well, depending on how your volunteer, who you're looking for volunteers. But anyways, that's just an idea. I know, and I'm certainly not going to tell you how to run your program, but I do have one comment, and that would be as to what you do with the funds at the end. I know that certainly in our area, like many areas, the food bank is running very short all the time. And I don't know if there's any way you could get the food bank included, or some of the local food banks, either through your donation at the end or some type of drop-off onto a truck or something when people arrive. I don't know, but I think that would go a long way for them.
Thank you, Mayor Bennett. No, that feedback is excellent. I will certainly bring that back, and Brad will as well, back to our bi-weekly committee meetings. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I know I'm a member of a community church, and I have heard through the church membership that the food banks have been struggling a bit as of late. So yeah, we'll definitely keep that in mind and see if we can tie that in with the trade show.
Good, thank you. Comments, questions, council? We're excited, and we'll certainly be there for sure.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for all your efforts to put this together as well.
Thanks very much.
Okay. Okay, we'll go to municipal reports. The CAO report is there. Dean's off this week, so we can't ask any questions or comments. Treasury report, anything for Anna? Annie? Seen none. Down to Public Works. Still plowing, eh, Mark?
Yeah, still plowing, and I wish Brad would have stayed. I just want to give a little kudos to our operators with the freezing rain of last week and some of the weather that's been extremely challenging. Lots of compliments that our roads were better than many in the area, and I think it was just timing and process of materials and such that staff made a recommendation to use, and it did well, and yeah, they did very, very well. And just one note, I know in my report I talk about road salt, and about an hour before the meeting we were advised that our supply was cut off with most of Renfrew County. So looking at contingency, and we do have material here, and we are at the end of the season, but our road salt supply has been cut off for the season. So anyway, we'll work through that. We still have sand and a bit of salt left, but just a little correction to my report, because that did come out about an hour before the meeting started. So.
I guess the only comment I have is that it's great that we've seen staff out opening up some of the ditches for water flow, as we already know that the water is starting to flow, groundwater, and we got rid of a lot of snow, which is good last week, but now we got more. So I know you're keeping a close eye on lower areas and flooding. So
yeah, and the weather over the next couple of weeks looks good, where daytime highs are above zero and nights are cooling back around or below zero again. So it does slow the melt, but I agree, the amount of snow that we lost in the last week or so was great. It did not a lot of runoff problems, and things did get away, but finding with the odd winter, there's been a few frozen culverts and blocking some drainage, and I know the crews are out again steaming culverts today, so it's just to keep an eye on some of that and keep ahead of it. And it's always usually that one weekend and some massive rainfalls and everything sort of lets go. So just trying to work ahead and keep ahead of it. So.
Good, thank you. Anything else for planning for Laurie? Any questions for Laurie? Keith?
Thank you. Item number 18, where it says you met with the applicant for proposed development in the city of Pembroke. Can you expand on that a little bit, please?
Yes, so that's related to, we were circulated on a zoning bylaw amendment application in the city of Pembroke. It's on lands that were part of the former CN, and in my previous report, I had included a copy of a letter that we had sent as part of the public consultation. And the reason that we have an interest in discussion is because there is a township sewer line that does go through there that also connects with the Bennett Street. I will defer to our public works manager to correct me on exactly which one it is. So again, they wanted to reach out to have a discussion on what the opportunities are for, if they were moving forward with a development there, of trying to accommodate the very significant pipe that's there and include that as part of their due diligence.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else for Laurie? Okay, see none. Thanks, Laurie.
All right, and just if I
Yep.
just may.
Go ahead.
Just that we are starting, so tomorrow at 10, Wednesdays at 10, moving forward, we are just doing our checkups for the spring freshet. Again, things are looking good so far this season, but just there will be, updates if anything changes, typically coming out like Wednesday afternoon.
Okay, thanks, Laurie. For the mayor's report, I didn't submit one. I wasn't super busy over the last month, but the one thing I do want to mention is the survey that's still out there for comments from the public on the renovations / type of sportsplex maybe down the road. I really encourage everyone to get on there and have your say. There's some good questions on there, and supply your comments. We did do a photo op at PEMICE 2 last week with the mayor of the city. As you saw, I had my, yeah, did a couple of rounds afterwards with my helmet on there. So it's good to get it out, and I do know that the numbers are quite high for a survey so far, but still encourage more and more people to get out and do it. And those results will be released. We have an early April meeting, I believe, to go through the surveys to the committee. So I'll bring you up to date then. Okay, we have a motion to file.
Come on for a second.
Wendy and Brian, please.
Moved by Councillor Hewitt, seconded by Councillor Hubley, that the council receive the following reports for mid-February 2026 to mid-March 2026 at the regular council meeting of March 17, 2026. CAO's report, Treasurer's report, Public Works Manager's report, Planner CEMC's report, Mayor's report.
All in favor? Carried. Then we'll move down to business, motion on council remuneration and expense. And that would be Annie.
Good evening. So for this report, the 2025 Council Remuneration and Expense Report is a annual report that has to be done according to the Municipal Act. So it states all of the honorarium, benefits, and other expenses that were paid out to council for the year. So this is for January to December 2025. So just to read out some of the numbers, the honorarium was a total of $191,805.60, and those are based on a bylaw that had been passed in 2024. Benefits, which are CPP and EHT, so those totaled $9,393.15. As for the expenses, which are mostly convention registrations and expenses related to those or other activities that council participated at. We had a total of $11,660.90. So those total up to $212,859.65. Then there were a couple of committees, the Ottawa Valley Waste Management Board, which Mayor Bennett is on, and Jack Wilson, so that was $2,700. And for the public, Pembroke Public Library, there's also a member paid there for $300. Any questions on that report?
See none, we have a motion. Keith and Alan?
Moved by Reeve Watt, seconded by Councillor Wren, that the Corporate Services and Protection Committee recommends Council of the Township of Laurentian Valley receive the 2025 Statement of Council Remuneration and Expenses as prepared by the Treasurer, Deputy CAO, dated December 31st, 2025.
All in favor? Carried. The next one, Annie, is statement of development charges.
Okay, so for the statement of the 2025 development charges, the recommendation is that council approve the report presented tonight. Again, this is a report that is requested by the Development Charges Act and also in the township's bylaw. So to report for 2025, there were 11 development charges that were collected, 11 different amounts for a total of $33,757.82. Those amounts sit in their own bank account, collect interest every year. So for 2025, there was $6,951.51 earned in interest. Only one project was financed through development charges, and that is the new study that's been ongoing. And the expense for that for 2025 was $30,761.55, which leaves a balance in the fund right now for $241,332.15.
Okay, any questions, comments? Keith?
So that financing charge, now that's a study to see how this is progressing?
It's the new development charges study. Lori, I'll let Lori speak to it because it's one of her files.
Yeah, so that's where, under the Development Charges Act, our development charges bylaw would automatically expire every 5 years unless extended. And so that's where we do have that requirement if we're continuing with it to do a study. There have been some act changes that will be now extending that to 10 years. We're very close to having a meeting that Watson's will be coming back to first present to council what they've kind of have with their findings of the possibilities. And then from there, we will be setting out a public meeting. It's similar to a zoning or official plan kind of process where it goes out to a public meeting. They provide an opportunity to give comments, and then council would pass the bylaw. And that's where council has some decisions with regard to, again, with development charges, it's only the net growth-related capital costs that you're able to collect for. And so in terms of those projects, so that staff review has been completed and that, so we will be coming back. So it's to continue on with that. And then this is a reporting that's required annually under the Act to the state of where your reserve funds are. So some of these would be items that are going to be paying back for things that have been already collected for, and then others are things that we're still collecting towards.
So as a follow-up, we're committed to have an outside company do a study for this?
So in terms of that, I had been doing it in-house for a number of years, and that's where it was determined that we didn't have the capacity, and the complexity of the studies had changed considerably. So that's where we did go out to tender, and Watson's was the successful tender. That would have been last year that we did that, and then that was brought forward. And as Andy indicated, the budget amount was what was approved from council to move forward with.
Thank you.
Everybody else? We have a motion. Betty and Jennifer?
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Gauthier, that the Corporate Services and Protection Committee recommends Council of the Township of Laurentian Valley approve the 2025 Development Charge Report as prepared by the Treasurer.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Our last one, Annie, is Robinson Road debenture.
Yes, so this is a report to ask council to authorize a debenture for the Robinson work that was done in 2025 and for the bylaw number 2026-03010 to the bylaw section of the meeting. So as you remember, in January, there was the first bylaw to approve the to put in the request for the debenture, which was then approved by Infrastructure Ontario, and with an interest rate of 3.74%. So this is a loan over for 10 years of $470,000, which will have payments of $28,384 twice a year. And for 2026, we do have one payment that will be coming out this fall, and it was budgeted for. So in your documents, you have the new bylaw now that is to go ahead with the actual debenture bylaw, and it has all the other documents that that are requested by Infrastructure Ontario and have to be signed and reviewed by our legal counsel. So just the resolution to, or the bylaw to approve, please.
Okay. Questions, comments? Al?
Just a comment, it's a pretty good interest rate, 3.74, I thought when I saw that.
Yeah, it's not too bad compared to the last one, I think was 4 point some, yeah.
I was thinking it was gonna be over 4, but
Mm-hmm,
3.74 is actually pretty good, so.
Keith?
Not to nitpick, but on page 2, where you said it's, with this debenture finalized, the township will have to pay $8,640,000. Is there a digit missing there at the end? Like, should it be?
This is just the
540?
outstanding, oh, yes, sorry. Yes, there's probably there is one missing
Yeah.
there. It's 8.6 million is the total outstanding principal of all the debt put together, but yeah, there is a number missing there, thank you.
Okay, no, I didn't want to nitpick, but it just didn't look right. Thank you.
Maybe we can pass it as amended. Okay, mover and seconder. Wendy and Brian? Brian?
Moved by Councillor Hewitt, seconded by Councillor Hoogley, that the Corporate Services and Protection Committee recommends Council of the Township of Laurentian Valley to authorize a debenture bylaw for Robinson Road works completed in 2025 and forward bylaw number 2026-03010 as presented to the bylaw portion of the March 17, 2026 regular council meeting for enactment.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, moving on, information items, Ottawa Valley Waste Recovery Center, letter to MPP Billy Deno. It is in front of you. At a previous council meeting, it was discussed, I would say with a lack of guidance and information from Circular Materials. So myself and staff at the Waste Recovery Center put this letter together, and it was sent to Billy on March the 8th. I know Mark is still having some issues because we're still getting a lot of phone calls where we don't have any control on it anymore, but it's a transition for the public to unfortunately struggle through because we haven't had the proper information given out ahead of time. So I haven't heard back from Billy, but I'm hopefully next time I see him, I'm gonna ask him to see if he moved that forward. I know, Mark, if you want to comment or not, but I think we're still, I've talked to Rockford School, and they sent numerous emails to Circular Materials as to what to do, and wasn't getting any response, and they're not the only ones that the lack of information provided. Mark, I don't know if you want to add to it, or?
Yeah, no, it's still been the same. There's not a lot of response from Circular Materials or the contractor locally. I think it's a lot and overwhelming and a lot of change. So there are some struggles, like even on the recycling container question, it took weeks to get back, whether they were changing colors or sizes or styles in collection. It just seemed like a simple question that they could answer. So just everything is taking a very, very long time and long process.
So I think it's come to a point where by the end of March, if I haven't heard from Billy, that I will approach him, because just to see if the province has looked at this and how it's going to be improved, because we can't keep going on the way it is. So I'll let council know when it's updated. Okay. Down to bylaws.
Seconder?
Mover and seconder. Keith and Alan?
Moved by Reeve Watt, seconded by Councillor Wren, that the following bylaws be enacted, passed, and be read a first, second, and third time, and be numbered and signed by the mayor and the clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation, and be engrossed in the bylaw book this 17th day of March 2026. Bylaw 2026-03010, to authorize debenture for Robinson Road rehabilitation. Bylaw 2026-03011, Alice Wilberforce Municipal Drain Maintenance Bylaw 2026, Bylaw 2026-03012, Shady Nook Highway 41 Maintenance Bylaw 2026, and Bylaw 2026-03013, to enter into an agreement with Province of Ontario for Fire Protection Grant.
All in favor? Carried. Council acknowledgements? Any comments from council? Wendy?
I just have a couple of things to share about the Pembroke and Laurentian Valley Handy Bus. We have two big fundraisers coming up. They happen to be on the same weekend, actually. We didn't plan it that way, but April 10th at the Allison Fraser Rec Center, we're having a euchre night. And I believe that's been circulated on social media, and I think Chris has been circulating it for us as well. So we appreciate that. And then the next day on Saturday, April 11th, there is a pancake breakfast once again being sponsored by the Pembroke Professional Firefighters Association. So you're all welcome to come out to breakfast that day.
And are you cooking?
I am assisting.
Okay, I will acknowledge that from our last meeting, we discussed the Algonquin Trail. So I have taken a step forward. I asked, through Dean, asked the OPP to get us a report for the last 2 years of any calls that have been directed at Laurentian Valley, and the OPP is going to put together a report, I understand, and what council decides to do with that, depending on the cost. It's not our trail, and we're providing the policing for it, so I think it's time that we maybe advance that bill. Brian?
So at the last meeting, we did since get the report for November, December. Do we know when we'll get the January, February from the trail?
I have no idea when the next meeting is going to be. If I'm speaking to Taylor in the next little while, I'll see that we get an update to that.
Because certainly November, December didn't see too many fines laid or paper of any sort, so.
No, and skidoo season didn't start till 10th of January as well. And I believe it's November 30th when the ATVs are stopped for the season. So there wouldn't be as much traffic at that time either, in December, early January. So I just want to bring council up to date on that. Anything else of council? Okay, seeing none. Note and file. Jennifer and Betty.
Moved by Councillor Gauthier, seconded by Councillor King, that any items not specifically addressed by motion of council in the regular council meeting of March 17, 2026 be noted and filed accordingly.
All in favor? Carried. Confirmatory bylaw. Brian and Wendy.
Moved by Councillor Hoogley, seconded by Councillor Hewitt. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Laurentian Valley approves confirmatory bylaw 2026-03014 as having been introduced, read a first, second, and third time, and the said bylaw be numbered and signed by the mayor and the clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation, the 17th day of March, 2026.
All in favor? Carried. And adjournment. Alan and Brian.
Moved by Councillor Wren, seconded by Councillor Hoogley, that the regular council meeting of March 17, 2026 be adjourned at 6:30 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. Sorry about that. I think Brian deserves an award tonight. He certainly does look like a leprechaun, and looking for that pot of gold. Looking for that pot of gold. Thank you, everyone. Happy St. Patty's Day again, and have a safe night. Thank you.